Welcome to Picks and Parlays here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm your host, Nick Geber. Find me on Twitter. It's very easy, at Nick Geber. Try to make it easy for you. Well, this is Wednesday, December 11th, 2019. Want to wish everybody happy National Tango Day. If you're in Argentina, that is. You can just tango the night away. Have a great day. We have a great day of sports picks for you, though, today. Some of our expert cappers, a special guest. We're going to be talking to Sean Higgs. We're going to be talking some college basketball. Craig El Guapo Trapp and Ali Third Degree Burns will join us right here in the studio for some NBA Rapidfire. And finally, we'll be covering some NFL, Bucks at Lions, Bears at Packers, Bills at Steelers. Lots of sports for you, lots of free picks here on the show as we do every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network and live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Would love to hear from you. Love to make you part of the show. All you have to do is fill out the comment section on any one of our social media platforms, and we'll see your comment, put it on the screen, and do our very best to get to it during the show, provided it's relevant and not too rude. Well, some rude, as we say every week, is allowed, but, too rude is just over the limit. Look, the holiday season is coming up. In fact, it's right on us. So what better way to build your holiday kitty by enlarging your bankroll with the free picks we give you here at picksandparlays.net and on the show. But when you're ready to go up to the next level and get our expert picks, we've got 35 expert handicappers on the site, all giving you their expert picks and analysis every day on the site. We have a holiday special for you. Think of it as our gift to you. And for that, we have promo code GIFT, 15% off everything in your basket. So let's put it this way. Sports Betting Santa has come a little bit early. We're getting you ready for the season. So be sure to use promo code GIFT, 15% off everything in your basket at picksandparlays.net. By the way, I'd like to wish a big hello and happy holidays to all of our men and women in uniform around the world who are listening to us on the American Forces Network. We love having you with us on the show. And when we come back, we're going to kick it all off. Sean Higgs. We're going to talk some college basketball. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. Picks and Parlays on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network and streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. By the way, find us on those social media platforms. Very easy. If you want to participate on the show, just hashtag Parlay Radio or look for us. Just search Picks and Parlays. You'll see us there. We're everywhere you want to be. All right, well, I promise you some college basketball. Who better to talk college basketball with than our resident expert handicapper, Sean Higgs. Higgy, welcome to the show. Happy National Tango Day to you, sir.
I was tangoing all day long. I was watching Dirty Dancing. It was a great day. Loved it.
Now, were you the Jennifer Grey person? Were you taking the Jennifer Grey persona or the Patrick
Actually,
Swayze?
no. You know who I was? I was Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies, where he's tangoing with Tia Carrera.
Oh, so you weren't dressed as Jennifer Grey?
No.
Okay, well, then we'll just leave that one right there. All right, well, let's talk some college basketball.
Only on Halloween.
Yeah, on Halloween, right? I don't want to see that. All right, Higgy, let's talk college basketball. Let's start with let's start with Wisconsin at Rutgers. The Badgers are 5-4, 3-6 against the spread. They've been a little streaky team so far. The 64-84 win against Indiana snapped a 3-game losing streak for them. Micah Potter and Owen Hamilton are indefinite absences. One, I think, is ruled ineligible anyway. They're 0-1 on the road, 4-1 straight up for the last 5 versus Rutgers. And for Rutgers, they're 6-3, 4-1 against the spread in the midst of a 2-game losing streak, losing to Pittsburgh and most recently 65-77 loss to Michigan State. They're 6-0 at home. The total has gone over, though, in 5 of the last 6. I've got Rutgers favorites at 2-point favorites and a total of 125. Build my bankroll, Higgy, please.
Yeah, listen, as a Jersey guy here, I'm happy that Rutgers is on the right path. Pikel's a good hire. Things seem to be going nicely, and here you go. You got him as a little home favorite. And as you mentioned, Whiskey 4-1 versus these guys last 5. It's a different team now. It was, all-world player they had Happy's gone. They were runner-up 2015, back-to-back Sweet 16s, stepped down a little bit. They're rebuilding. This isn't the same Whiskey team. This isn't Rutgers football. I like Rutgers here. Normally, in all kind of sports, you try to shy away from home teams not laying 3. But I think this is more of them not laying a big number based on name recognition. Everybody thinks Rutgers, they were mauled in the Big Ten when they got here at basketball. They're getting mauled in football. So I think Whiskey's getting a little respect just based on their name. But I think Rutgers is really putting a little something together. I'm going to lay the short number here at home with Rutgers. RAC's a tough place to play, man. That is like a high school gym. They're right on top of you. And I'll tell you what, it's winter break now and testing and things like that. But in Jersey, people are going to show for that game. It's Wisconsin. People go because it's like, I'm going to see a Big Ten team. We've been starved here for, believe me, I know friends are going. Any kind of Big Ten game, they're going there because it's what, 4,000. It's tiny, so it'll be a packed place, and Rutgers definitely got a nice little home court edge there for sure. And again, I think it's just based the short number on the name of Rutgers being poor in the Big Ten, but they're getting it done here today. Rutgers all the way. Let's go.
Yeah,
Knights.
it's interesting. You see that a lot, actually. Pundits, media, lines, they really do live and die an awful lot on reputation and not necessarily on the current state of the program and or the team. You see it in all sports. Drives me crazy. Sports, like everything else, particularly college sports, where and college basketball, even worse, where players are there for about 5 minutes before they move on to the NBA. Unless they've got a great recruiting class, stacked up behind them, you just never know what you're going to get year over year. But okay, I'll go with you on that one. Let's move along, shall we? 2 teams, neither of whom are particularly firing it up these days. Fresno State at Cal. Fresno State Bulldogs. Why are you laughing at that? You're giggling.
It's because, listen, it's a weird time of year with some of these games. We do have some conference games, but then you get like a Fresno Cal, a couple rebuilding teams. Not exactly a high affair. I don't know. This might be a nice bailout game for people as we look at it. Both of these teams are rebuilding. Mark Few, a lot of work to do here in Cal. They were 5-31 the last 2 years in the Pac-12. He's got a hole to dig out of. 0-6 ATS run for Cal. And Fresno. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is at Cal. It is in Berkeley. They're 1-4 in the last 5. Their last outing was a 71-52 loss to Santa Clara, which is a bit embarrassing, I think. 5-0 at home, though. All the season wins have come at home. They're 0-6 in the last 6. The Bulldogs, they're pretty lousy. They're 2-6. They're 2-5 against the spread. They've lost 4 in a row, most recently a 70-77 loss to Utah State. They're 0-4 on the road. And the total has gone over in all of their last 6 games. Are we going to see a lot of scoring in this one? I got a total. I didn't actually see the pick on the line on this, but I did see the points at 125.5.
It's Fresno's actually favored here. Now you mentioned they're 0-4 on the road, and they're 1.5 or 2-point fave.
How is that?
Sitting at 2-6.
When Cal has won all their games at home, why is that?
That's I don't. They got a little more experience, I think, Fresno. Listen, they lost their backcourt to put up 37 points a game. So you're going to struggle the next year because I firmly believe, especially early in the year, you want good guard play in college basketball. You kind of look for that. But their interior play is all right. They've, back-to-back overtime losses for them, 4 straight losses. So they're there. They're in these games. And this is a toss-up. You see, I don't know. The 2 poor shooting teams, you got 40%. Both of them shoot about 40% from the field, 30% from 3. So a lot of iron to be clanking. The under, it was scares me about taking these unders is that this could be like a 50-50 game, goes overtime, and then you're buried there. I'm actually leaning towards Fresno here. Why is a 2-6 team favored on the road versus a team that's got all their wins at home? So I look at that, scratch my head, and be like, you know what? I'm going to take the road team here. It seems like an oddball play, but I just think Cal's got a little more work to do than Fresno, regardless of the records. Records are one thing. People, scheduling this and that. Some guys look great, but they're playing, Trinity community colleges, stuff like that. So, hey, 2 points on the road. I don't want to lay it with a 2-16, but I'm going to do it because, it just tells me to. It's one of those spots you just got to do that. The number tells you to lay it, you got to lay it.
I mean, interesting. We do a lot of very technical analysis on this show, particularly with cappers like the Duff Man, who likes to regress to the means a lot. And I'm going to give you a very technical analysis on this game. In other words, Fresno State suck less than the Golden Bears.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
I don't want to say that they suck less. Actually, I'm going to say they're better than the Bears. Can we say that? Because the Bears are bad?
Bad news Bears. All right, let's move on. 2 teams
For sure.
just a little bit better in the pantheon of college basketball. Let's move along. Michigan Wolverines at the Illinois Fighting Illini. Okay, we'll just leave the Illini thing there, okay? Michigan bounced back from their 43-58 low-scoring loss to Louisville. And again, you like how I'm saying Louisville? Like I was born there. It was a low-scoring loss, and they bounced back by scoring 103 points against Iowa in a 103-91 win. So far, they've yet to win on the road. The total's gone over in 4 of the last 6 for Michigan. For Illinois, they're on a 2-game losing streak. They're 6-3, 4-4 against the spread. They lost to Miami and Maryland. At home, though, they're 5-1. So they've got a good home record. Total's gone over in 8 of the last 11 versus the Wolverines. Wolverines, though, 1-point favorites here. Total 143.5. Is there any way I can make some money on this one?
Absolutely. There's always ways to make money, Nick. That's why you turn into the show, because we give you the winners. You need to, the information you need to bury the man. That's what we do here.
Trying to, encourage the beef so we can get to, where's the beef, right?
So, interesting that I was reading on Underwood, head coach of Illinois. He's talking about they should contend for a Big Ten title this year. And he's looking for NCAA tournament action. He said they got a lot of experience back. Granted, they did. They had a long team last year, a lot of freshmen. But listen, this is a sophomore team. You can see they're young. 59-58 loss to Marquette, 81-79 to Miami.
Yeah.
Arizona beat them up pretty bad. So they're there, but they just can't, this is the learning experience when you have the young guys. On the flip side, you got Juwan Howard here, Fab 5 coming to town, unranked. Then they come in, upset Gonzaga in North Carolina, and they're top 10 team. What are they, like, top 6, 7 right now?
Yeah.
Listen, they played better competition. Iowa State, Creighton's a good team. Gonzaga, North Carolina. You mentioned Louisville.
See, now
Again,
hold on. Now you say Louisville. You see, now that's
Louisville.
just not natural. I mean, people would know
Louisville.
You're not from there, but if you say Louisville.
Yeah, I'm not from there. I'm a North Jersey clown, bro. I'm not. Louisville.
And the circus is in town, apparently.
Louisville. Who?
You said you're a New Jersey clown. I said the circus must be in town then.
It is. It's always in town when I'm around.
So what? Yeah, go ahead.
Like I said, you just look at the schedule and you're like, all right, these guys are 8-1. Gonzaga, North Carolina, Louisville, lot of better teams, and yet you're laying 1. We're going back to the fact of what's up with this line. It's one of those that looks like easy money. I'm not going to grab the low-hanging fruit. I'm taking Illinois. Nice home dog, Big Ten play. I don't know how good this team is. Yes, they're 8-1. They've been good competition. But you can have a bad game. You can have a good game. I want to see a little more out of Juwan Howard. The line reflects that at a 1 here because, again, young team for Illinois. I don't know. I'll take the +1 here. Just looks a little too easy. When it's too easy, I don't know. They don't make billion-dollar casinos in the desert on easy money given away to the public. So we'll take the unranked team here and pick them.
Oh, you just ruined it for me. I'm going to leave Vegas right now.
Can't do it, Nick. Come on, you stay there.
You're taking Illinois +1. Okay, and the total? Under, over?
I think you got to push the over here. Michigan's been pushing the ball. Illinois listen, they're going to want to run and gun themselves, even though they play a couple low-scoring games. But against Arizona's or Miami's, they move the ball a little bit, push the tempo. So I could see getting over that 143.5.
All right, Higgy, thank you so much. There you have it. Fresno at Cal, Wisconsin at Rutgers, Michigan at Illinois. We give them all to you right here on the show. These picks, absolutely free. Higgy Smalls, always a pleasure. You want to get more of Sean Higgs' picks? Go to the site, picksandparlays.net. Right now, you can get his expert picks for 15% off. Use promo code GIFT on the site. Load up that shopping basket with all the picks you want to increase your holiday bankroll. Again, promo code GIFT. All right, I'm going to step aside, take a break. When we come back, we're going to give you the best 14 minutes to build your bankroll that there is out there. NBA Rapid Fire, Craig El Guapo Trapp, and Ali, Third Degree Burns. Welcome back to the show, Picks and Parlays, here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, and also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Schmitter, Schmutter, you name it, we're there. If it's social media, you'll find us, and we do stream this show live. We would love to hear from you during the show. It's really easy. All you do, go to the comment section on our social media and write your comment there, and we will see it here in the studio. And if it's reasonable comment or not too rude, we'll put it up on the screen and endeavor to bring you into the show. And yes, I used a word like endeavor on a sports betting show. Okay, forgive me. I promise I will never do it again. Well, we promised you 14 minutes that will build your bankroll. We love to do this with our rapid fire segments, and today, no different. We're going to bring you some NBA Rapid Fire. Very pleased to welcome to the show Ali, Third Degree Burns, and Craig El Guapo Trapp. Guys, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Craig,
are you ready?
I'm ready.
Craig's ready. All right, well, Ali, shall we kick it all off? I believe we have Boston, Indiana first. Ali Burns, go.
We do. All right, so Boston is 16-5. They've won their last 4. And Kemba Walker is leading them into battle against the Indianapolis Pacers. They're 15-9. They've won 8 of their last 10 home games. They're a little bit on fire right now, and they're a 1-point favorite at home. The total's at 209.5. Craig, what side of this battle are you on?
Well, the Pacers, actually, I even see this out there at 1.5, which I was kind of surprised that the steam is on the Pacers, yes, they are the hotter team in recent terms, but the Celtics on the season have been way better than I thought. I really thought I thought the Boston would be good come playoff time. I just thought it would take them longer to get to there. But Brad Stevens has done his magic again. A lot of people questioned last year with such a talented team and falling so short, but he's shown that he can do it. 8-2 against the spread this Celtics team is in their last 10. I just have to play the Celtics here. I just think the Pacers are just 5-5 against the spread at home this year. So we're going to take Boston here 8-2 against the spread. I think that's tough to pass up as a small underdog. I think I'm even going to take them on the money line too.
All right.
Nice.
I like it. Pacers are coming off of that home loss to the Clippers also, so want to keep that in mind. Up next, I've got the Hornets and the Nets. Now, the Hornets have lost 4 of their last 5, and only one of those was on the road, which is where they're going to find the Nets in Brooklyn. Those guys have won 4 of their last 5, and not only are they 13-10 for the season, they're 13-10 against the spread. At home, they are a 9-point favorite. The total's at 218. What can I expect in this lopsided matchup?
Yeah, definitely lopsided. Brooklyn continued to be one of the teams that has been pretty good. 8-2 against the spread in their last 10, 7-4 against the spread at home on the year. I got to take Brooklyn here. I even see this the little steam going with Brooklyn as a 9.5-point favorite currently. So get on this now because I think this could even get to 10. I still think I would take Brooklyn. I just can't trust the Charlotte team right now. I don't think they can score with Brooklyn. So let's take the Brooklyn Nets and the big number here at -9.5.
All right, on to the next one. We're going to do the Jazz and Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the Jazz look good at 13-10, but they've only won 1 of their last 5 games. And Minnesota, on the other hand, well, they've got their own problems. They've lost their last 5. So what's going to give here? Minnesota is a 1.5 favorite, but are the Wolves worth my money even though I love a home dog? Should I go with that total at 222?
This is a dangerous spot, I think, because both of these teams kind of need to prove something in this game. Minnesota, like you said, they haven't played great recently. The Jazz haven't been great away from home. So, but it's hard to take even a home underdog, 1-point home underdog that's Minnesota's just 2-7 against the spread at home this year. So I cannot take that. I just think the Jazz have a better defense. And to me, when you have a close game and you're not really sure, you always play the better defense. I think that's clearly Utah here. So we're going to take the Utah Jazz -1 to hopefully, get back on track after, I just thought they haven't played great lately.
Yeah, that's one of those games that I'm not going to watch unless I have money on it, for sure. And so is this next one, as a matter of fact, which would be the Hawks and the Bulls. These two teams are abysmal right now. The Hawks are 6-17. The Bulls are 8-17. Both of them score more points both of them allow more points than they actually score. The Bulls are favored at home by 5. The total's at 222. Make me watch this game, Craig.
Well, I would stay away from the side in this game. I just think if you had to play the side, I would play the Bulls. They're the more talented team and they're at home. But I don't like laying 5 points with a team, like you said, that defense is questionable at the best. And their effort is questionable at best on defense. And that's both of these teams. So to me, I like the total a lot more. I even see this total at 221. So let's take the over 221 here. I think this one's an up and down game. I will say, if you haven't watched the Hawks game, they actually are pretty fun to watch because they shoot a ton of threes. They play like the Warriors play the last 4 or 5 years, but just don't have the talent that the Warriors had. But they do get up and down. They do shoot a lot of threes. I like the over 221 in this matchup.
At the beginning of this season, I was like, oh yeah, there's Atlanta Hawks out there. They were like really good. They kind of like made a go of it all. And yeah, it's just kind of fizzling out altogether. All right, moving right along, I'm going to take you to Memphis and Phoenix. Now, the Grizzlies are absolutely riddled with injuries right now. Andre Iguodala, Josh Jackson suspended, Ja Morant's out, Grayson Allen. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And then on the other hand, we have the Suns, who are totally healthy, but they're having a lot of trouble winning games. They've won 2 of their last 5, which is a little ridiculous to me. They're an 8-point home favorite. The total's at 231.5. Which side of this game are you on?
Well, first of all, Morant, if you watched him early in the year, I thought he was a lock if he stayed healthy to win the Rookie of the Year. I still think he's going to be the favorite to win the Rookie of the Year once he gets back healthy again. He is super talented. I think a lot of teams that passed up on him are going to regret, including I think the Knicks could have traded up, I think they would have done themselves well to get. But that's beside the point. When as far as betting on this game, this Memphis team, they scored a ton of points from Morant and all those guys were healthy. That has not been the case. The last 3 games, they've really struggled. 2 of the last 3 games have gone under. They have struggled to get above, in that 205 to 206 range. So when you can't get above that, how are you going to score, go over 231 here? So I like the under 231. I even see it at 231 and a half, 232. But I like the under here. I think it's a much lower scoring game thanks to Memphis injuries out there right now.
It's unfortunate, but it's something every team has to deal with, right? Okay, up next, we were talking about lopsided matches. Now, this is a big one. So we've got the 6-18 Pelicans, and they're visiting the 21-3 Milwaukee Bucks. All right, so NOLA is on an 8-game losing streak. The Milwaukee Bucks are on a 14-game winning streak. Now, I don't think the Pelicans can beat the Bucks, but do you think they could cover 13.5 points?
Well, remember this Pelicans team at home almost beat the Lakers. So they do have it in them. Almost. Obviously they had a lot to play for then. So all those guys that got traded from LA to the Pelicans, first game back for Anthony Davis. But I do think that shows the talent of this Pelicans team. Injuries have hurt them a lot this year. I think, though, getting 13 points. This Bucks team isn't great against the spread at home. They're just 6-6 against the spread at home, even though they have such a good record overall. They've laid when they've had to lay these big numbers, they have not covered many of them. So I think you have to take the Pelicans here, getting all the points. I just think New Orleans is one of those teams that has the offensive talent in a high-scoring game, which I do think this one will be. So I also think the over is a solid play in this one. This Bucks team has been scoring in bunches, and I think the Pelicans will stay with them through at least 3 quarters, and I think that pushes this over. But I think the stronger play is take the Pelicans plus 13.
Well, here's a question for you. We all know #1 draft pick Zion Williams has been out all season for the Pelicans. So how do you think the return of Zion, in addition to the addition of the 3 guys that came from the Lakers, what do you see the Pelicans looking like with a healthy Williamson?
I think if you added him in, I think if he'd have been there his whole season, I think they would probably be about 500. I think that's how good he will be and how much excitement he'll bring to that team, and just he'll make everybody better. I think obviously early in the season for a rookie, especially someone only spent 1 year in college, you'd rather have point guards or shooting guards, guards in general for rookies. But I think Zion's a once-in-a-lifetime type player. I really think he's going to be Blake Griffin type talent, which obviously I think you take that if you're a #1 pick, if you can be the solid as Blake Griffin has been so far in the league. So I think this Pelicans team is going to be one of the more exciting teams to watch after Christmas once Zion gets back, and hopefully rest of the Pelicans will get healthy as well.
All right, #1 and 2 draft picks are both out right now. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we've only got 1 more to go. Excuse me. And this is a good one. I'm excited about it. We've got the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're 10-12. Sacramento Kings 9-13, and both of these teams have a great ATS record. They're both 14-8 against the spread. I've seen this number move around a lot. What have you seen the Kings point spread at?
Well, I don't see the official line being out, but the advanced line metrics that I've seen is that the Kings are going to be favored by a short number, probably 1 or 2 in the couple places that I get reports from. Either way, I think this one is going to be a point one way or the other. I really like this Thunder team. I coming into the year, I thought the Thunder were going to be kind of a tear it down type team where they were going to try to trade Chris Paul before the trade deadline and just build draft picks. They've got all these draft picks from all the trades they make with getting Russell Wilson and Russell Westbrook, and of course Paul George.
That sounded
and
funny.
If you get another couple draft picks, or even if it's just a second round draft pick for CP3, I think this team could be really talented. But it's hard to do that now that this team's been playing better than expected. They're 7-4 against a spread on the road this year. I think in this one, if as long as the Thunder are favored or underdog by less than 1 or 2 points, I would take the Thunder here. I think the Thunder went outright, and I think this Kings team, even though they're talented, they're banged up with injuries. They're one of those teams that just can't get over the hump. It's like I think they finally have the talent to play with most teams in the West, but they just don't put it together on a night in, night out basis. I'm going to take the Thunder here, and what should be, like you said, a pretty good young matchup of some young, nice players.
Yeah, I really like the Thunder, and I think everyone thought that when Paul George went out that they were going to kind of crumble, but everyone else has stepped up. I'm obsessed with Steven Adams. I love that guy. I think he's averaging 9 rebounds a game right now, guy out of Gonzaga, and that whole team has really stepped up and started to prove themselves that they don't need Westbrook to be successful in this league.
Yeah, when you lose 2 top 10 probably players in the league in Westbrook and CP3 via trade, most people are jumping off the bandwagon. Like you said, Adams, actually, he's from Pittsburgh. And, he was one of those guys when he got drafted. A lot of people were like way overdrafted, but he's turned into a heck of a rebounder. One of those guys that he can get you a lot of easy baskets because he's so good on the offensive glass. I think this Thunder team is one of those teams that could be a very tough team and not a team that you'd want to face if you're one of these West teams fighting for a playoff spot late in this season.
All right, well, there you have it. As promised, the free NBA Rapid-Fire picks from our resident expert handicapper, Craig Trapp.
All right, well, Ali, thanks a lot. That's great. Good stuff there. Craig, very quickly, before we wrap it up, out of the, 6 or 7 games we gave, what's your absolute pick out of these ones?
I think I like this Bulls game. I like the total in the Bulls game probably the most. I just think the Hawks don't play any defense. I think the over 221 is an absolute layup. I think both of these teams go 115 plus in this one, and this one goes way over the total.
All right, there you have it from Craig, El Guapo Trapp, and Ali, Third Degree Burns. Guys, thanks a lot. NBA Rapid Fire, great stuff. If you want to jump on any of those picks or any of our other picks that we have on our site from any one of our 35 resident handicappers, do yourself a favor, go to the site right now, load up on them, special holiday, special gift. That's the promo code you're going to use. You're going to get 15% off on the site, anything you put in your basket. And, you can take it all the way to the bank. Given that it's holiday season, you're going to need the extra dosh. All right, I'm going to take a break and be right back with more. All right, welcome back. Picks and parlays here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. We're with you every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. on the East Coast, 1 p.m. on the left. That's when you can hear the live radio show. We do stream throughout the day. Be sure to check us out at picksandparlays.net. We do live stream the video of this show, by the way, if you're listening to us and not watching us, you're missing my beautiful face. And you can see us at picksandparlays.net. You'll see a link, but we're also on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. If you want to participate on the show, you can do that, #ParlayRadio. All right, let's bring on our resident handicappers, Craig El Guapo Trapp and Sean Higgs. Guys, let's talk a little NFL. We have 3 matches that we've curated for the personal betting edification of our viewers and listeners. Let's get to it, shall we? Let's start with the Buffalo Bills against the Steelers. The Bills 9-4, 8-4-1 against the spread. A 17-24 loss to the Ravens snapped that 3-game winning streak they had. Although, having said that with the Bills, this 9-4 record, they've only faced 3 teams with winning records, so it may be just a little bit deceiving. Can the Bills score against the Steelers' quality defense? That is the question. The Steelers 8-5, 7-4-2 against the spread. They are 8-2 straight up in the last 10. Duck Hodges is 3-0 straight up and against the spread, although he's averaging 165 passing yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Total's gone under in the Steelers' last 5 with an average combined score of 31.5 points. So got the Steelers as a 1-point favorite here at home. a total of 37. Let's start with you, Higgy.
You know, you called it a match again. Are we playing on Heinz pitch instead of field? This is the Heinz pitch.
Why not? Why not? It was a great Champions League day today, guys. So I'm still mired in the UEFA Champions League. But we're on the NFL Bills and Steelers. Excuse me, game. There we are. Let's move on.
How the heck are the Steelers 8-5? Is what I want to know. Man, hats off to Mike Tomlin, because sometimes this guy makes some bonehead plays. But let's be honest. Big Ben, Bell, Juju, Brown, Antonio Bryant, and they still win. It's crazy. The number's gone up to 2.5. I don't know. I sort of like the Bills here, but as you said, they haven't beaten the good teams. They take care of the bad teams when they have to. They were right in there with the Ravens last week. Play here, they could have tied that game. Who knows what happened there? You got to look, I think, here at the under. One, it's winter, December in Pittsburgh. It's going to be a sloppy field. These guys are just going to run the ball. Josh Allen isn't a threat to really. Oh, he is a threat to chuck it, but he's only complete about maybe half of those passes downfield. I think the defenses show up here. 36.5 is a low number in today's NFL. I'm going to lean here towards the under in this game. I think defense is here more than offense. This could be a real ugly game here, I think.
Trapp. Trapp, over, under.
How's this flexed? Craig, how is this game flexed at the 8 p.m.? How is this the right game?
Ugly. Well, just because these teams both have winning records, and at this point of the season, that's and not all these games can be flexed into that Sunday Night Football spot. But Duck Hodge is one of the better stories in the league, undrafted, of course, free agent, and they've really turned around since. But I think the key has been the running game and the defense. Benny Snell, rookie from Kentucky, running back, has had a great season, had a great game last week to get him the win. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers here at -2. Of course, these advanced numbers. This is crazy. These advanced numbers were actually -7.5. Of course, that was assuming Big Ben was going to be there and healthy. Now we see this line, of course, now at -2. But I like the Steelers here at -2. I think the Steelers get it. I also think, like you said, Higgs, when you see a total this low, I usually play the under in those type of matchups. That tells you how much of a defensive struggle they're expecting.
All right, guys. Well, you'd think that Duck would be better off playing with the Bills, but we'll just leave it there as it is. All right. Okay, Next up, Buccaneers at Lions. Tampa Bay 6-7, 4-8-1 against the spread. On a 3-game winning streak, most recently winning 38-35 against the Colts. Jameis Winston. I got his first name right and flubbed the second one, the easy one, Winston. Okay. Is still not 100% though. He has a sore thumb apparently. Wonder why. Maybe too many video games. Okay, 4-3 on the road, and the total has gone over in 10 of the last 11. The Lions 3-9-1. That's definitely, they've taken a fast train to Suckland. 5-8 against the spread. The Lions are 1-9 straight up, 2-4 at home. Matthew Stafford still injured, and David Blau, if that's how you pronounce it. Sounds like kind of your lunch as you bring it up, is not exactly fit for purpose. Total's gone over in all of their last 5 matches. Or is there something here? Over with the Buccaneers, over with the Lions. It's 47.5 points. Tampa Bay, 3.5 point road favorites. Let's start with you, Huapo.
Yeah, I think this one screams Tampa Bay. I just think we saw Detroit at times on Thanksgiving Day, pull some, keep it close. Let's just say that. But since then has not been good. Tampa Bay, when Jameis Winston doesn't turn the ball over, they're a very good offense. I think he finally has started to figure this out. I think Tampa Bay is the play here. I know once you get over that key number 3.5, that always worries me, but they're begging you to still take the home dog here. I'm not going to fall for it. I think Tampa Bay, gets finally to even here. They'll pull to 7-7, and I think Jameis Winston. Remember, he is going to be a free agent after this year if they don't re-sign him or franchise him. So I think he's trying to play for his contract. I think he plays really well here against the Lions defense that hasn't been very good this year.
Higgy.
You made your little joke about Ducky and the Bills. I got one. Why did the Pelican get thrown out of the restaurant, Nick?
I have no clue.
Because he had a very big bill.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. Okay.
You said the clown in the circus is in town. We got jokes.
Indeed it is. You've just proved that. Okay, let's get on with this one. Bucks Lions.
Here's another bad one. Blow, more like blow.
Yeah.
Am I right? After that game on
Blah.
Minnesota. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What the guy, like, he looked great against the Bear defense on Thanksgiving, and then Minnesota on a short week makes him look exactly what he was supposed to look like. You mentioned the overrun here. You think you want to get behind it. I can't, based on Evans is out, and I don't think we'll see much out of this Lions offense. I mean, you got some guys, they got some receivers, but I don't see it. What I do see is exactly what Craig said. You got Winston playing for a contract. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, they're not a bad team. The turnover is kill. We know that. And he's a turnover machine. But I'm taking him. I'm laying the 3.5 because I always say when I see that 3.5, I'm going with that favor because they're trying to entice you with that extra half point. I don't like it at all. I think Tampa gets it done here in a big way, and it's going to go under though. I know we got a big overrun and are working against us, but I'm going to go under the total. But Tampa to get it done here on the road.
All right, guys, we got 2 minutes. So we're going to make this real fast. Last game, Bears at Packers. Bears 7-6, 4-9 against the spread. Look, they're going to need this win and some help if they hope to make the playoffs. The Packers, on the other hand, coming off that slightly anemic 2015 win over the Redskins, their defense is excellent at home. The important statistic here is they've held the Bears under 20 points in 4 of 5 homestands. Packers 5-point favorites at home, total 41. Okay, 25 seconds. Higgs.
Well, I got actually a premium best bet on this, so use the promo code, get it, bet it, and pay for your Christmas. How about that?
There you go.
Or
promo code.
Whatever you celebrate.
Promo code GIFT at Picks and Parlays. Craig, you've now got a minute. Go for it.
Yeah, 1-4 this Bears team against the spread on the road. They're just not very good on the road. This Bears defense isn't the same defense it was last year. Khalil Mack had what I thought was an MVP-type season at times last year. Hasn't quite been the force, even though if you listen to the Bears fans and the Bears coaches, they say he's had just as good a year. It hasn't been as impactful. The Green Bay Packers running game has been really good at times this year. Saved them last week. I think the Packers easily win this game. I think they win by a touchdown plus. The line coming down, just crazy. It opened at 5, now at 4.5. I'll take the Green Bay Packers here minus 4.5. I think they win pretty easily and move to 11-3.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Craig Trapp, Sean Higgs. You can find both of them at picksandparlays.net. And as we've mentioned, right now, 15% off all the expert picks on the site. Use promo code GIFT. And of course, we do have a lot of free picks there for you as well. So just go ahead, surf around, get all the betting information you need, because when you make a bet, make sure you are well informed. All right, I'm going to take a break and be right back with more right here, Picks and Parlays. All right, welcome back to the show. Picks and Parlays on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Just a programming reminder, Monday through Friday, we're here with you every day on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, 4 p.m. Pacific, 1 on the East. And we do stream throughout the day. Check us out. Check us out on our website, picksandparlays.net, and our social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We've had a lot of picks today. Why don't we start it all off? We started off with some NFL. Let's take a look. I'll recap all the picks for you right now. Bucks at Lions. Take the Bucks minus 3.5. Bears at Packers. We said take the Packers minus 5. And the Bills at Steelers. Take the under. Here we go. And then we had Sean Higgs with his college basketball. Michigan at Illinois. Take Illinois plus 1. Whiskey at Rutgers. God, I need some whiskey. Take Rutgers minus 1. And Fresno State at Cal, take Fresno State minus 1.5. Then we had our 14 minutes to build your bankroll, our NBA Rapidfire. Craig Trapp, Ali Third Degrees Burns was on. Here were Craig's picks. Celtic at Pacers, take the Celtics plus 1.5. Hornets at Nets, take the Nets minus 9.5. And the Pelicans at Bucks, we said take the Pelicans plus 13. Those were our picks today. If you would like more picks, there are plenty of free ones on the website at picksandparlays.net, as well as all of our expert picks are there for you. Pick them up, put them in the cart, 15% off, promo code GIFT. And again, find us on any of our social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, we're there with you. And of course, picksandparlays.net. We've got write-ups on all the games. You can get odds, you can get stats, you can get everything you want on the site. And of course, free picks galore. If you want the free ones and the expert ones are there. We have 35 handicappers. You see a lot of them on this show, and there's some of them that you don't see on the show. They're all completely transparent. All their records are on the site. We're not, going to tell you everybody's 100%. You know that's not true. Check it out on the site, though. Surf around. See who's doing it for you. Pick up their picks. 15% off, promo code GIFT. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the show today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've missed any part of this show, you can find the replay on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or on our podcast network, which is the Believe, BLEAV podcast network. Till tomorrow, remember, bet, win, repeat.